There we go. We should be live. We should be live now in the right group. Welcome. Welcome. If you were waiting for me to be here, I went live in the H2H Crew group because H2H Crew is what's on my mind. That's what we're talking about this morning and or this afternoon, wherever you may be. But welcome to the Facebook Live, where I'm going to give you all the deets on the H2H Crew, why you should be in the crew, what the crew is about, what you get, how much it costs. We're going to cover it all. Before we do that, I want to tell you why we created the H2H Crew in the first place and how it's different than the free group that you're in right now. So the group you're in right now is the From Hostage to Hero Facebook group. This is the group where we can talk about the podcast, we can talk about the book, you can ask your colleagues questions about experts or what they've tried in a voir dire, or if they have an opening transcript that you can read. That's kind of what this free group is for. Of course, we also do those things in the H2H group, but the H2H group, or the H2H Crew, as we call it, is where you're going to get something very specific and very different, which is what we're going to talk about today. So let's get started. I believe that the 4 pillars to mastery are as follows. You have to have instruction. You have to have practice, a place to practice. You have to get some feedback on that practice, and you have to have a community of support. This is why we created the crew. People would come out to our studio classes or working with me one-on-one, and they would say to me, how do I get this in my life? Like, how do I make this second nature? And we didn't have an answer for them. I knew the book was coming out, but the book isn't going to add that much, because you really need, that's just the instruction piece. You really need someone who's going to help you and work with you and get this ingrained. You know me as the nonverbal communication expert. That's what we want you to learn. And that takes practice and feedback along with instruction. So that's the difference between the other group and this From Hostage, or the H2H Crew. Now, the question is, what are you mastering? If the 4 pillars of mastery are that you need instruction and you need that practice and the feedback in the community, what is it that you're actually trying to master? And that's what we really want to get clear here. You're mastering 4 things if you really want to up your game as a trial attorney. The first one that I started with years and years ago was nonverbal intelligence. So you need to know what it is that you're communicating. It's funny, I just had a conversation with the very first attorney that I ever worked with, and he called me down to watch a voir dire in criminal case. I started in criminal law. And this was before I'd ever worked with a lawyer before. And he said, can you come and can you help me work with, read the jury's nonverbals? And I thought, God, I don't know that I want to do that, but I am interested in working with lawyers. So let me go check this out. And I went down there and I was attempting to read the nonverbals of the jurors. And I quickly recognized that was not going to be helpful. Not to mention that my attention kept getting pulled over to the actual attorney himself and all the weird things he was doing and was getting in his own way. And so over lunch, we had a conversation about some things that he could try non-verbally and otherwise. And we're just talking now, and it's been 20 years later. And he said, that hour-long lunch was life-changing. He said, there's before that lunch and there's after that lunch. I can't thank you enough. So the nonverbals are one of the things that you definitely want to master. But then when people started working with me, and I started getting all these lawyers coming after starting working with that first attorney way back when, then I realized, well, the content that you were trying to get across wasn't exactly juror friendly. Let's put it that way. Lots of legalese, lots of stuff. And so I thought, well, we need a way to create content that really resonates with jurors. So then the second thing you need to master is your content. How do you put an opening together? What voir dire questions do you have to ask? How do you follow up? How do you put a closing together? So the content piece is huge. But really the third piece of the communication, content, what you say, delivery, how you say it. The third piece is how are people receiving it? That's the reception piece. That's how do you work with groups? How do you recognize whether your message is landing? Also nonverbal, by the way. But it really didn't all come together for me until we added the mindset piece. Now, the mindset piece is all about, you can have all these skills, you can learn all the nonverbals, you can have the opening template down, You can totally know how to do an issue-oriented voir dire, but if you're getting in your own way up here, none of it is going to matter. Now, with that, I'm going to bring on two of our H2H mentors. One of them is a coach. Go ahead and come online and so we can see you, because I know this is a particular favorite of Coach June's, who is in the H2H membership. Coach June, tell me about how important that mindset piece is, and then we're going to hop over to mentor Jody here in just a moment.
Yeah, I think the mindset piece is the most important thing. Because what I've been saying over and over again is if you have all the skills and everything that you need to execute, what good is it if you're too afraid to use it because you got something going on in your head telling you, well, maybe you shouldn't do that, or probably the defendant's going to object, or I don't know if I should do that because I might come off fake or whatever. You're just not going to do it. So that's why the mindset is so important. You got to get that under control and master your mindset so that you can execute and execute well.
Well, it's funny, you and I were just talking about this because every time a new group of what we call crewbies come in, right? So that's the new crew members. We hear a lot of that at the beginning, right? Well, I don't know if you can get away with that. Oh, I'm not sure I would try that. And then about 2 or 3 months in, they're like, woo! They're like just doing all the things, right? Because they've had the mindset training. So I think that's so true. Jody, talk to me about how important the nonverbal work is that we do in the crew. Jody being one of our H2H mentors.
Yeah, so the nonverbal work that we do, it's the first skill, I guess, that you have to master as part of the method. And so one of the things that I learned early on was the importance of breathing. So that's one of the nonverbal skills that is taught here. And it's been really helpful for me to slow myself down. So much of what we try to communicate, at least for me, I'm trying to get so much information across that I'm not really present. That's really, which goes back to mindset too, but I'm not really present for what I'm trying to communicate. And so breathing has really helped center me. And then being able to communicate in approachable and authoritative tone of voice and body language, which is a big part of what's taught non-verbally. And I didn't have those skills before, and I've been practicing over 20 years. So it's been a huge confidence boost for me. I do a lot of videos in the H2H crew. I've been doing a lot more videos in my everyday life, if that makes sense, because I've gotten used to presenting all the time and trying to use these skills all the time, and it's helped tremendously with depositions, especially over Zoom. It's helped if I've been a presenter in webinar format, and it's helped just communicating with my own staff. So it's huge, and it's been great.
We're going to come back to Jody in just a minute. Let me ask June, why don't you tell your coach June in the H2H membership, tell these possible new crewbies who we're talking to today, what they might see in the crew when it comes to Coach June.
Yeah, so if you guys come into the crew, what you can expect is as far as, coming and working with me within the crew is just really getting down into just the nuts and bolts of figuring out how to create an issue-oriented voir dire, step by step. I'll walk you through it. We'll play with it. Same thing with an opening statement. We'll go through it, and then we'll even rehearse what a typical issue-oriented voir dire would look like, right? And then with all that stuff, then you have the material to really try it out and continue to practice in terms of saying, how do you ask from the experiential questions down into the principle-based question, and how do you follow up, things like that. So I like to really work with you all just to really get down to the nuts and bolts of what some of the methods and the techniques we learned here in H2H. And then I kind of go with you as you guys progress along.
And Jody, how will the members experience you both as a mentor, and then in the summer, some special things this summer?
Yeah, well, I'm not going to answer your question directly, but I'll get there. I mean, I think the most important part of the H2H crew really is the sense of community and the feeling of safety. So, Sari talked about one of the pillars of mastery being a safe place to practice. I inserted safe, but that's the big thing for me with this community, is that everybody is extremely supportive, like cheerleader status, supportive of everybody else. And so, I'm sort of a super attender or a super mentor, where whatever events are on calendar, I try to attend. And I get so much out of working on other people's issues and cases, and even to a certain extent, their mindset issues. I have this hurdle because I'm afraid that the jury is going to perceive my client in this way. And it's like, okay, great. It's amazing that you noticed that. Now, what are we going to do about it? How are we going to deal with it? So what people will get from me is they're going to get likes and comments, and, let's have a Zoom meeting if people are struggling with issues. They're going to get me bombing all of Coach June's sessions and adding my 2 cents to the skills that are being taught and learned. Creative thinking, strategic thinking, just echoing the method itself and how it can be implemented across a wide variety of cases, and just general support and enthusiasm.
Well, and you mentioned something really important, that there's lots of things going on in the calendar, plus there's things that members do on their own. What would you say to someone who is like, I don't know whether I should join because I can't partake in everything?
Right. No one can partake in everything, including me.
Offer a lot.
Yeah. I mean, I think it can look intimidating to look at the calendar and say, I'm running my business, I have depots, I have my own deadlines, I have my family commitments. How am I going to fit this in? What I found, though, was that when I was attending, I was getting very energized by the attendance itself. And setting aside that time made it so much, easier. There was less resistance when I went back to the traditional to-do list on my calendar. I almost always bring what I'm working on to a session, even if I'm just observing. So even though it doesn't look like productive work where you check the box on your task list, I'll come away with a theme. I'll come away with an aha moment for voir dire. I'll type a few notes for what I think I need to do in the story section of an opening. And so it re-energizes me to do that traditional work. So I would say attend what you can, and then what you can't attend, you can catch up on because everything's recorded. And so I listen to Sari a lot. I mean, it's like a lot.
Your brain.
I have the podcast in my ear. I listen to the replays sometimes when I'm on the Peloton. I listen, even if it's not nonverbal, I listen a lot when I'm walking or hiking. Like I said, because it really leaves me energized to do the day-to-day work. And I think that our work can be depleting at times. I think COVID can be depleting at times. And so to have a tool that helps me feel refreshed and energized and supported instead of slogging through my to-do list, it's been a gift really for me.
It's really interactive, right? So it's not, you can not participate. You can just call in and listen or watch, but it's not, when we say energizing, we mean it. It's not like you're just going to like log in and listen to someone talk for 2 hours, which is what most see. It's very interactive. Everyone's working, playing, giving feedback. Before I let you go, Jody, I have another question for June. You mentioned that the cheerleading piece of it. What if somebody says, I don't want cheerleading? If people just can tell me I'm great off the bat, I want straight up criticism. I want to know what I'm doing wrong and how to fix it. What would you say to that?
Well, I don't think they're mutually exclusive, right? I mean, that's kind of the point. And it's not blowing sunshine for the sake of sunshine. I think there's a lot of acknowledgement of showing up, being half the battle, being aware of the issues that you're facing, being willing to work on it in a group setting. But the feedback you're going to get is going to be very concrete. Like I know I've done nonverbal and it's like, let me start you there. Now step back, now take a deep breath, now do it again. Now, what are you doing with your hands? That looks weird. Let's fix that. So it's not cheerleading for the sake of saying, atta girl, you're great. just go do that in trial and you'll be just fine. It's cheerleading in the sense of how amazing is it that you're showing up and bringing this issue to us? Or if someone's being vulnerable about a fear that they have, I'm worried the jury is going to do this. How amazing that you're willing to share that vulnerability. That's the cheerleading part. Now, what are we going to do with it? How do we want to be with this fear that we have, or how do we want to strategize to make this less of a fear and more of a strength? And so the cheerleading kind of goes back to that mindset aspect as well. And so I hope that's clear, that you're going to get the skills and you're going to get the straight talk as well. And then the community members cheerlead each other. So someone's going to go to trial and they want to practice their opening statement. We're going to throw together a Zoom and we're going to do an opening statement. And we're going to say, that was amazing. And then we're going to say, and here's how I think maybe it could be even better.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then you're going to get that constructive feedback. And there's also celebrations of non-verdict victories. Mm-hmm. So it's a safe place as well to come and say, I screwed up, or this didn't go, I did everything I thought I was supposed to do and I got a bad ruling, or I got a bad outcome. And people are going to rally around that as well and say, you showed up, you showed up and you told your client's story. You showed up on the side of the right, and that's to be celebrated regardless of the outcome. So you're going to get that support too, because we have a pretty brutal job. I mean, at the end of the day, there's a literal scorecard of wins and losses. And it's easy to internalize those losses in a way that make us, at least for me, feel like I let my client down, or I let myself down, I let my team down. And so this is a really important balance to that for me.
Yes. And I think that's what's so great about the community is it's not blowing smoke, but it is, we assume here at H2H that you are amazing day one. And all we're doing is helping you own and step into that. So that's what that is. Why are you, it's mostly getting rid of weird things you're doing versus adding stuff for you to do. Why are you doing that? Oh, it's some weird thought pattern you're holding. Well, then stop thinking that shit. And we show you how to do that, of course. I know that both of you have limited time. So Jody, if you do need to pop off, this would be a great time, but stay with us if you can. June, talk to me about the importance of practice.
Yeah, I cannot emphasize more. I mean, practice is just, it's so important. I mean, ever since I first started working with Sorry, I can't remember any period of time where I was not somehow exposed to Sorry, whether it was through the studio, podcast, book, H2H, Path to Mastery, anything and everything that I could just, I think I'm exposed to you like on a daily basis, honestly. So, and that's intentional on my part, because I really just want to really get everything that is H2H. So it's second nature to me, so that if I'm in trial and I don't know, I just didn't get enough sleep and I'm just blanking out, I just start acting second nature. This stuff comes out like almost like an automatic reflex. So that's it's so important to practice. And that's why, I mean, and I didn't realize this until you said this, Jody, but yeah, coming into these things, it is so energizing. It is really something that makes me love what I do again. Mm-hmm. And that's really something that you'll also get with us when you come to these events. We're playing, we're having fun.
Yes.
So you might be thinking, oh, well, it's instructional and I don't really want to come because, oh, it's like, no, come and play. Yeah, just come and play. And if you threw a bad pass, right? If we're going to make a metaphor to sport, if you threw a bad pass, it's like, all right, say, hey, next time, try to do it this way.
That's baseball, right? No. Well, and I think this is the issue is that you guys there's no lack of information, right? I mean, right this minute, we could look on one of the various listservs or platforms and you could find a CLE running right now, right in this minute, right? So there's no lack of information. What there is a lack of is practice, a place to actually try the skills out and get the feedback and have the support. So that instruction piece, we offer it too. Every month, you're going to get live instruction many times over. But what we really focus on here is the practice piece. And so So I'm going to talk now. Thank you, Coach June and Jody, mentor. We will be talking with them later and throughout. You'll see them throughout, but they need to pop off here. So let's talk about the actual pieces of the H2H Crew and what you get. So here's how it works. What we want to be really clear about, we're talking about, I'm not sure if I can do everything. I'm just going to say right now, you cannot do everything. So that is just take that off of your to-do list when you're thinking about whether you should join or not. We offer so much in the crew so that we can hit different people at different times. Not to mention that every single thing is recorded. So the first thing that you're going to get at the beginning of every month, late this month because of our move back, you can see there's boxes behind me. We just moved in. But is the live training that sets the tone for the month. And then we play with that thing and all of the different things. So the live training, for example, for this month is called something really cool that I don't have. Christy, what's the actual title? I know we're talking about permission, but what's the title? You have that handy?
I do. Just 1 second.
Okay. So waiting on the title because it's really, because that's my favorite thing to talk about is permission. Go ahead.
The permission principle, how to read, increase, and sustain permission with jurors.
Yeah, the permission principle. So when you think about permission, you think about, having to ask permission. Do I have permission to, like when you're a kid, permission exists still as an adult and we still need to get it, but we don't get it verbally. It's a non-verbal thing. So tomorrow is the live training. And just if we weren't doing the launch, I would be doing a live training for the group and they would come in. It's interactive. I put you in breakout rooms. You're trying different things, but because you possible crewbies are here, you can register and join. Chrissy's going to drop that link in the Facebook Live right now. You have to register to be able to be a part of that. And you can try before you buy. So this is one of the things that you would get as a member. You would be able to participate as a member and participate in the first monthly live training. So that's where I kind of set the tone for the month. After the live training, I will do a case workshop. I'm just talking about things I'm doing. There are other coaches. I'll talk about them in just a minute. So case workshop. All of the events I'm about to talk about now have 4 what we call hot seats. So those are the people who have signed up and registered to be worked with. Now, just because there's 4 hot seats doesn't mean there's only 4 people. We have 3-4 times that amount of people sign up to come and watch and participate, because what we call you are the chatters. So you may not have a hot seat that month in case workshop, but you want to come and learn. And on the back end, I'm going to be saying, okay, what do you guys think, chatters? What do you think about this? And you get so much good information going on in the back end too. So whether you're in a hot seat or a chatter, the case workshop is all about, I have this case. I want your help, on what your questions I should be asking, or can you help me put together an ideal juror profile, or how do I put the teaching section together? So you come in wanting to ask something specific and you get a half an hour of my time. 4 people, it's a 2-hour class. We do that every single month. Okay, in addition to live training and the case workshop from me specifically, then we also have voir dire circles. So what is that? Again, 4 hot seat participants who are playing attorney and they're coming in with some voir dire. The rest of you will play a juror. We take 6 on screen at a time. So I just say first 6 people on screen, you're the jurors. I tell you, learn as much, if not more, playing juror than playing attorney. And so we actually try the voir dire, and you're going to learn the nonverbals, and we're going to talk about what good questions and how you could have followed up better. Voir dire circle is one of the most popular H2H events. Okay, we have that every month. The other thing we have with me is the nonverbal feedback coaching. So again, 4 hot seats there. The people who are being worked with then come in with something to present. It doesn't have to be an opening or closing statement. It could be, your grandma's apple pie recipe. You just need to present some content so I can work with you on your nonverbal communication. All right. So those are the ways that I am in the membership every single month. Now, how do you get a hot seat? Well, they come out the 20th of the month, the previous month, and they're first come, first serve. And I will tell you that they're gone within the first hour, maybe 2 hours. We will be adding more coaches, but let me talk about what we have now. We also have Coach K, who wasn't able to be here today. Coach K is our mindset coach, our resident mindset coach. He will be here twice a month. He also has 4 hot seats. If you want to come in and get some coaching, either on permission, that will be the hot seats, or during his office hours where you can bring anything. You can bring things like, I don't like my client. How do I deal with that? Or I am scared shitless to stand in front of someone and give an opening statement. He's the mindset guy, and he will help get you past your barriers. He's going to be here, I believe. Is that tomorrow, Christy? Is that Kevin's event?
Yes, tomorrow at 1 o'clock.
Okay, tomorrow at 1 o'clock Pacific.
Oh, on Wednesday, because tomorrow is live training.
Yeah, tomorrow's live training. So Wednesday at 1 o'clock Pacific, and you have to register for that. You can watch Kevin help people listen for permission. So I'm going to teach about permission on tomorrow. Now, Kevin's going to be like, all right, why are you getting in your own way, or how are you getting in your own way when it comes to building permission with jurors? And again, permission being how receptive someone is to you or your message. He's going to work with your stuff up here. No, it's not therapy. Show up and learn what it is. It's going to be awesome. All right. So we have Coach K in the membership. We also have Coach June in the membership. So June offers what we call learning labs. So maybe you came in and you observed a voir dire circle with me and the 4 hot seat participants. And you're like, oh my God, I don't know what their terminology is. I don't know how to put together an issue-oriented voir dire. I'm not ready to take a hot seat. Go to one of June's learning labs. He's going to walk you through how to do issue-oriented voir dire, how to put together an opening, how to put together closing. It changes every month, but that's your place to go in and kind of workshop the material before maybe getting a hot seat with me to actually deliver the material and get my feedback on it. So we've got 3 coaches that are currently working in the membership. We're adding more every time. Coach Jody is being trained right now to be an H2H, both as a mindset coach and to be a consultant coach. We've got more people coming in. All we need is more crewbies to make that happen. That's why we're preparing for you to join. So let's talk about a couple of things. That's basically what you get in there. Oh, I forgot. Guest webinars. This month, if you join, you're going to have access to Courtney Rowley. Courtney Rowley will be here. We had Keith Mitnick. By the way, if you join today, well, you can't join today. When you join Friday, when we open, you have access to all the content from when we started. I may change that at one point because that just seems crazy. But you have all the training, all the guest webinars, all the water circles, nonverbal feedbacks. You have access to all of that on the back end of our membership. Let me show you the back end of our membership. It's pretty cool. Christy designed this. I'm going to come back and introduce you to our 4th coach, actually, which just slipped my mind, which is Christy Foster. But no, I'm not leaving. Okay, so you would come, if you remember, and you would log in. Whoop, that didn't work. Okay, hold on. To the membership. Christy, are you seeing what I'm doing here on my screen? Is that all working as it should?
Yes, looks good.
Okay, here's the back end. It is beautiful, thanks to Christy. Here's your coaches. You can go through the orientation, membership hub. I'm going to take you to the actual membership hub, but I just want to show you, we have the full From Hostage to Hero course. Now, this course will never be sold outside of the membership. The only way you have access to this course is in the membership. I will sell other courses eventually, but this is the nonverbal course. And the reason I don't sell it outside of the membership is because I believe you need the practice in order to be able to do this. So if you click on, there's 8 modules. If you click on any of these modules, it's me in a video or on a PowerPoint talking about, like, for example, permission, how to read permission. So you go and you watch, and boom, this cool video starts. And here it is. Reliable indicator. Every single thing from the book that you want to talk about in terms of the nonverbals are in this course. All right, let's go to the membership hub. Here's where you get to, as a member, watch the past training, okay, or sign up for any of the things I just talked about. So let's say you set your calendar for the 20th, and the 20th has come and you're like, okay, I want to sign up for some coaching. Oh, I also want to take case workshop. This is where you do it. Now, when you go over to these pages, what's really cool about this is you can go to the nonverbal page, right? And you can go down and see when they are happening. So that's also a great calendar way to do that. And if you go to the resources over here, you get to see all of the things, right? Mindset coaching archives, everything, absolutely everything we do is recorded. So that's the back end. Christy, let me have you come on screen. Christy's the one that made this all happen, but she's also just recently, which is why I forgot, now our resident vocal coach. So we have 4 coaches working in the membership. I said 3. So tell me about your role. Well, both your roles. How will they experience you, Christy?
Yeah. Well, I do all the back end stuff. I'm Sari's executive assistant, and I do all the client management and any technical issues that you have. I'm your gal. So I'll be coming alongside of you to get you oriented into the membership, and any questions that you have, helping you sign up, and just helping ease your experience. I want this to be as easy for you as possible and as enriching as possible. So if I can take off some of that load of detail work for you just to be able to experience it, then that brings me a tremendous amount of joy. In my secondary role, I'm now the resident vocal coach for H2H, which means that all the nonverbal work that you are doing within the membership is just heightened a little bit more, because you can really dive into how you are using your voice, your tone, your range, your breath, and then how that relates to facial expressions and physical expressions to really hone in specifically on the storytelling portion of your opening statement, but really all of your nonverbal communication relates back to how you use your voice. Your voice is an indicator of your personality, of your presence. And so helping you use your voice, unlock your voice to be able to really unlock yourself and help you show up as your most powerful and authentic self in the courtroom and in life.
Yes. And so you crewbies who are coming in will be able to sign up for a free assessment with Christy, where she'll assess your voice, and she offers lessons on the as a separate thing. She's in the membership with Foster Your Voice trainings. It's just we offer so much. This is what I'm saying. That should not be a reason why you don't sign up. That should be the reason why you do sign up, is that we offer so much that there's so much to choose from. Don't try to do it all. Just see what interests you and get in here and have some fun. Thank you, Christy. Okay, now I'm going to talk about, again, a little bit clearer about the difference between the free group that you're watching this in and H2H Crew. Here's the big difference. I am in the free group once a month, talking or training about something. I think today is the time I'm in there. So I'm not even training today. That's all you get in the free group. You have access to me, and I'm happy to be in there and answering questions as I can, but my attention goes toward H2H. If you're an H2H Crew member, when we do the guest webinars, yes, we stream them to this group. You will be able to see Courtney Rowley, but you will not be able to ask her questions. If you're in the free group, you will not be able to engage with her. We're probably going to have her come back and work directly with our members. Only H2H Crew members on the live webinars, guest webinars, get to ask the questions and interact with our member or our guest. So that's another perk. Being an H2H Crew member is the only way to work with me. So I will still do trainings, for example, if you want me to come out and do your law firm, but if you want trial consulting, you have to be an H2H member. If you have a trial coming up, you've got to be an H2H member to even have access to my calendar. So that's another benefit of being an H2H member. You get synchronized training. I just do whatever I'm thinking about in this big group, my once a month trainings. Over H2H, we've got it all planned out. Like, for example, Q2, we're doing the permission training tomorrow. Next month, we're doing Nonverbal Intelligence 101. And the third month, we're talking about the From Hostage to Hero method. So I plan those very specifically so that you will learn in these chunks. And I'm not doing that over here in this free group. So here are the deets. I'm going to give you the deets, and then I'm going to go through some questions, common questions that I get about the H2H Crew. And the reason we're spending so much time on this morning is that we're not going to open again until June, and maybe not even then. So this is your last opportunity for at least 3 months to join the crew. And you're going to want to join the crew just financially earlier than possible, because we always raise either the enrollment fee or the monthly fee every time we open. So the enrollment fee, I hope I'm going to get this right. I probably shouldn't even say it out loud. What's the enrollment fee, Christy?
The first month is $349.
Thank you. And the monthly fee is $209.
Right.
So $349 will cover your monthly fee for the first month. And it will also get you the From Hostage to Hero book. Already have the book? We'll send you one anyway. You can give it to someone who you think needs it. So that enrollment fee is only the first month. Then after that, you'll be charged $209 a month until you cancel. And here's the thing, you can cancel at any time. At any time. There is no, what's the word I'm looking for?
Contract.
Contract. Thank you. If this is not for you, we don't want you here. We want a group that is just jiving and having fun together. So in addition to that, you can try before you buy. So this week and next, we have 6 events that would only be for H2H event crew members, and the hot seats are only for them, but you can come and observe all of those events. You go, what is this about? I don't really get it. Go to saridlm.com/events, and you can register for any of the events you want to attend over the next 2 weeks. So we open on Friday for 7 days. You can be trying all of these things up into and throughout that trial period. So you can come to the training tomorrow. You can get mindset coaching on Wednesday. You can come to the case workshop on Thursday. Next week, you can play with me on Water Circle or nonverbal feedback or June's learning lab. We've got so many things for you to participate in for free. You can observe only, but it'll give you a chance to see how the whole thing works. So let me answer some questions. If you have questions in the Facebook group, this is a great time to ask, but here are the ones that I normally get. So the first one is, how does it work? Well, you pay your fee every month and you have access to that membership hub that I just showed you. And you can go in there and click when it's the 20th of the month and pick your hot seat. Or if you're not doing a hot seat, you just go at the time of the event. You always get a reminder 15 minutes before and just say, join now. And you just, boom, you're just in the room and we're participating and we're playing. Sometimes you'll just pop in and you'll turn your camera off and you'll just message me and say, I'm not participating today, I'm just watching. Other times you'll just come in and you'll be a participant. Other times you'll be in the hot seat. So that's how that works. But you can also just go back there, watch videos, do the course at 3 a.m. in the morning. I don't know why I keep saying 3 a.m. I hope you guys are not up at 3 a.m. doing my course, but it is a place for you to go and watch videos, take the course, the whole thing. So that's how it works. The membership hub, this all happens over there, right? Everything we do is recorded over there. The way to get a hot seat is over there. The way to join is over there. You can also join through the links that you get 15 minutes before, but that's the main hub, the place that you want to go to get the info. Now, we do have a H2H Crew Facebook group. Do you have to be on Facebook to do this program? No, I know a lot of attorneys aren't. You might consider doing it, and here's why. Because one of the things that we do over there at the Facebook group is we have a lot of fun. We post memes and we talk back and forth. But I also give video assignments like Jody was saying. And so video assignments are really helpful to get you used to seeing yourself on camera and upping your nonverbal intelligence. So that's the one thing we do over at the Facebook group, but it's not a huge part of the membership. And if you don't have Facebook, it's not a big deal. People ask me, what if I can't make the events? Well, I've already said every single thing is recorded. Every single thing is recorded. So that's not a big deal. And they're offered at different times, different places, or not different times, but different coaches, different times. So there's lots of opportunity there. What's in the course? That is the nonverbal delivery piece. So I walk you through the 4 steps of the From Hostage to Hero method, and it's all video or my voice with slides. It's absolute, if I may say so, amazing course. It's a wonderful way to learn the method, which is what this is all about. Will there be other courses is a question I get. Yes, we're going to be adding bonus courses all the time. Here's the thing. Even if I add a course that I plan, or even if I make a course that I plan to sell outside of the membership, members will never have to pay for that. We're going to give you all that for free because you're paying your membership every month. Anything I'm creating that I would sell separately to non-members will be in the course. So you get access to all of that. Will I be adding other coaches? I answered that. Yes, we are currently training 2 new coaches to hopefully take on some extra work because those hot seats go so fast. And can't I just work with you privately? Not unless you're an H2H member, my friends. Here's why. Our method is very specific. I would say it's a macro method, meaning it incorporates all kinds of things. You're like, you can come in and be like, I love Rose the Road. I'm like, great, let's work with that. You can come in and say, I want to do the don't eat the bruises, put in context. I'm like, great, let's work with that. So when I say method, I don't mean like this really strict way you have to do things. But what I am saying is the way that we are at H2H, and this one won't make sense until you're in it, is, the thing that June was saying and Jody was saying, that we do this because we love it and it's fun, and we talk about resonant conversations, and there's a language that we use. You have to have some of that before we can work together. Otherwise, we're both wasting our time. So no, you cannot just work with me privately. You've got to be a crew member. Now, working with me privately, I used to say the cheapest program that I offer is $10,000. I'm not even offering that program anymore. Coach June is going to be offering the Path to Mastery program again, only for H2H members. The cheapest thing to work with me is, I think, 3 days for 30 grand. My standard is a 5-day with mock juries and things for 50 grand. $209 a month, my friend. This is a steal. A steal. So don't let that be, because that's one of my common objections. It's too expensive. What? You pay more for LexisNexis or whatever research you're using, and you're fucking worth it. I mean, that's the thing here, is that how many attorneys call me a week before. Christy and I get these calls all the time. Hey, I have trial next week. Can Sari help me? And the answer is no. I mean, even if I have the time, which I don't. By the way, my first available opening is 2022 at this point. Even if I had the time, I cannot help you a week before trial. I mean, there might be some things I could say that would be helpful, but you need to be working this all the time. This is what H2H is all about. It's not about waiting until a week before trial. It's about creating the trial lawyer you want to be right now, so you are ready for trial when it happens. This is why we end up settling more cases than we should, because we're too afraid to take them to trial because we're not ready to go to trial. This is all about readiness. And it's not even just only about trial. We talk a lot about how we are here to create incredible human beings that just happen to be trial lawyers. Trial lawyers and court is where we use all the skills that you're learning on how to create a life that you want to live and flourish in. Another person says, well, I don't have trials right now. Well, nobody has trials right now. Well, trials are now happening more, but a lot of people still don't have trials right now. This is the time. This is the time to prepare. I'm not on Facebook. We already talked about that. You don't need to be. It's too much of a commitment. It's not too much of a commitment. It's as little or as much of a commitment. It's $209. What is that? A night of drinks with 2 of your trial lawyer buddies? I mean, you spend like 4 times that a month. $209 a month for you to have access to all of the great. We have David Ball coming in. We have Josh Carton coming in. I've got Eric Oliver coming in. We've got Courtney Rowley. We've got Randy McGinn. All of these people, Keith Mitnick. I'm not just talking about guest webinars. Many of these people are going to be coming in and actually working with crew members, not just giving a CLE. They're going to be working with them. I tell you right now, you cannot get David Ball for $209. You can in the crew, but you cannot call him up and say, can I have some of your time? He might give you 5 minutes for $209. It's a steal, my friends. I'm afraid of being judged. You're not going to be judged. You're going to be helped. You're going to be supported. Listen, I'm going to tell you how it is, but in a way that helps you learn. I am of the mind that no one learns when they're feeling bad about themselves. So we're not going to make you feel bad about yourselves, but we are going to tell you what we think you should be doing better. Okay, Christy, any questions coming from the Facebook group?
No questions so far.
Okay.
Several people are saying that they're excited about the opportunity to practice and the community, and yeah.
We have the best community going. Am I right, Christy? I mean,
the best.
The best. I mean, people are forging lifelong friendships. Somebody just posted this morning and said, I have this case going to trial, and I thought somebody in here had a similar case. 2 people that weren't even like part of that similar case she was talking about jump in and said, we're here to help. Let's put a Zoom together. So that, in addition to the scheduled events, H2H members will often get together and do their own voir dire circles, do their own nonverbal feedback training sessions, and it's awesome. It's the best community ever. It's the best law firm on earth, as Rusty said once, because you have access to all these great minds that we come together and we practice and we have fun. That's the number one thing I've heard, is that people keep saying trial is fun again. Yes. Yes. That's what H2H is about. So H2H opens the crew. If you want to become a crew member, we'll call you Crewbie on Friday. Is that right, Christy? I got that right?
Yes, Friday at 9 a.m. is when we open our enrollment. And I just posted a question into the chat box for you.
And we close when?
Thursday, the 22nd at 9 p.m.
Okay, so 9 to 9. So we've got 7 days to get in there. It's so funny. We always get a big rush at the beginning, then trickle, 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 then a big rush at the end. So the question is there a limit to the number of people you'll be taking for this opening? No, there is not, unless it starts to get super crazy, then I might, but I don't have any plans to limit it at this point. You know, I've been telling the crew that we're a little bit over 100 people right now. And I said, we'll never have this time again. Where it's just this, you know, just small. So that's the other reason you want to join early. It's cheaper. I mean, even next time when we open again and we increase it to $219 a month or $229 a month, you'll be $209 for the rest of your life, unless you pop out and you stop, then you have to come back at the higher price. But so not only are you grandfathered in, that's a bad saying. We need to get rid of grandfather. Guaranteed your price, your monthly price for as long as you're in the membership. But the sooner you get in, the smaller it is right now. It's gonna grow. It's been exploding, in fact. But right now is a really special time in the membership. And we're gonna keep adding coaches and we're gonna still keep delivering that great content. But this is a great time to be in there. We just have so much fun. I can't tell you how much fun we have in there. I love showing up to our H2H events. Patrick Crew's ready, yay! So glad. Okay, set your calendars. You got 7 days starting on Friday, but why wait? If you want to try before you buy, which means you get to come and observe, peek behind the curtain. Again, go to saridlm.com/events and you can register for all of the crew events that are happening this week and next as an observer. Please note, if you do that, you are agreeing to hold confidentiality. That is a big tenet inside of the H2H crew, that nobody talks about cases outside of that. You'll be hearing case facts and things. You'll be watching attorneys deliver opening statements. You'll be watching voir dire circles where they're talking about things and trying things and being vulnerable. So you must agree to hold confidentiality as an observer. But we're excited to have you, and we'll be giving you special welcomes in each event. Tomorrow is the permission principle. You don't want to miss that one. It's a live training. Besides, if you join, you're going to want to have that in your back pocket to have it ready, and it will be recorded again if you are unable to watch it, but only for members get that recording. Okay, my friends, we've been on for a little less than an hour. I cannot wait. I think this is going to be our biggest opening ever. We had so many people ask, when are you opening again? When are you opening again? Friday, we're opening again, and we can't wait to play with you. So get your butt in there. Okay, love you all. See you tomorrow at the permission training. Bye-bye.